let's focus on way on how we can turn things around so that we feel empowered when rejection comes away. Already? Okay, let's go. So say you meet someone for coffee or something. Okay, they cannot reject you. Here's why. They've only talked to you for a few minutes. They've only seen like a movie trailer of you. They haven't seen the entire movie, so they can't reject the real you. Even if they've spent like an hour or more than an hour with you, your life has many, many hours of stories, of events, etc. And the way a person views you is through their filter and through yours. So how complicated is that? Really complicated. And it's based on their own belief systems, their subconscious blocks, and their own life experiences. So it's all biased. And people are changing all the time as well. So it makes it really, really complex. And there are over 400 emotions. So we're all capable of having all those emotions, and whichever impression they received of you or made of you, then let's say John, let's make up a name. John says that you were like this, you were very emotional like that, or you expressed this emotion and that emotion. Yes, it could be true, actually. Yes, it could be true. I'm not saying it has to happen, but I'm saying that person's perspective is real according to him or her. And that could happen with anybody because we're all capable of all emotions that exist. So it's out of control. So that's not what we need to focus on. What's better to focus on is how to regulate emotions within ourselves and focus on how to create better ones that increase our vibration and make us expand our energy field so that we are more magnetic and attract better things for us in our life. In order to attract the things that we prefer and desire, we have to raise our vibration to better emotions such as gratitude and joy. So let's focus on what we prefer as opposed to what we don't prefer. Alrighty? I mean, I had a landlord a long time ago where she told me that she just met this woman and she didn't even talk to her, but then she was like, she felt so, like disgusted to be around her, even in her presence. And she was really confused by that. This can happen even in an audition process. For example, directors and assistant directors, they may be trying to fulfill two really important roles, and then there's a lot of good applicants. So in order for them to get down to the semi-finalists and the finalists, they actually go through this process that doesn't actually make sense sometimes. And so they could pick someone who reminds them of their mother who they had a good relationship with, or they remind them of an aunt or uncle or their mother-in-law. So it's not objective, and people could be making their final decisions based on these factors. So it's out of your control. And so again, there's certain things we can't control. If you are feeling extremely rejected and feeling unworthy, unwanted, unloved, just lonely and awful about yourself, then it's a clear sign that it's a good idea to talk to somebody or just start journaling at the very least. If you journal, at least you're expressing your emotions, you're getting it out. But if you find that you're still having a difficult time, then you might want to reach out to somebody, a friend you trust or a family member you trust, and talk to them. And if they don't have enough time, or you feel that you need more time to talk to somebody, then maybe go to a therapist. Or if you're in high school, there's high school counselors. Get a recommendation. Make sure that they give you results, if they have some qualifications that can meet your needs. So make sure that you feel comfortable with them, because sometimes you might need to see one person or another person before you actually find someone that you feel very comfortable with and safe to talk about things that you want to let go of and need some help from someone to listen to you about. Right, here's another perspective. In marketing, in direct marketing and email campaigns, on average, 2% of people will respond to you. And that's good. If there's 4% of people that respond to you, even better. But 2% is a general rule of thumb. So if you're a guy and you're asking someone on a date, for example, because it is a little bit hard for a guy when they do get rejected, not that I'm a guy, but I can only imagine, if someone keeps saying like, no, 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 they're not rejecting you unless for some reason you're doing something really obvious, like, you're not taking care of your hygiene and you're not smelling so good. It's a numbers game. You can look at it that way. So you can look at it like, oh, awesome, I got rejected. That means I'm getting closer to, being received well. And whether it be like asking someone on a date, or whether it be like applying for a job that you really want, then you can look at it that way. It's like, okay, awesome, like I got rejected. Rejection is protection. Sometimes, that job's not right for you, or that person's not right for you. And then just think, wow, the universe is just gave me some practice on how to handle my next interview or my next meeting with someone. and I'll do much better for the person that really is meant to be with me, or with a job that's even better than the one I applied for. So when you have that vibration and that trust and that positivity and belief in yourself that something's going to come, then eventually something will come, because it's that vibration that attracts a lot of that we prefer. Now, if we have a low vibration, if we get worried, start getting doubt and doubting that things will come our way, that things will work out, then our vibration goes lower. Then we go down to the fear and the anxiety and the worry. So that's a much lower vibration. Fear is about 100. In order to manifest what you prefer, you need to be at a higher vibration. So for example, gratitude. In order to manifest what we prefer, we need to be at a higher vibration. For example, gratitude. When we're grateful, it's a high vibration. It's between 500 and 600, depending on how much heart energy you put into there. When you're grateful, it's a very high vibration. And when you bless someone or yourself, it's a high vibration. So when you're at that vibration of gratitude, compassion, you can access your intuition. But when you're in a low vibration of fear, worry, anxiety, then you cannot access your intuition. And when you access your intuition, and you also are in the flow, so you're better able to receive things, because you're not constricted. When people are feeling fear and worry, their energy field is actually very constricted, and so they're not magnetic. People are not magnetic when they're feeling fear, or when they're worried, or they're anxious, and so it's helpful to be very conscious of that. So yeah, and so when we laugh, we can let go of things more easily. And so try to keep in mind, like maybe watching comedies, or try to change your perspective. Like literally, you can do it physically even. You can like stand up on a table and look at something from a different angle, and or just go outside your house and go for a walk. Actually, when you walk, I believe it's 90 minutes, depression starts to go away if you keep walking for like 90 minutes or more a day. And so there's different ways to raise your vibration. So when you raise your vibration, and for example, if you meditate for a few minutes a day, it helps to ground yourself emotionally. And so things bother you a lot less. And when we're like exercising, one thing about walking is that we're exercising our left and right brain, because we're going left foot, right foot. So we're exercising our both hemispheres of our brain. That's very, very healthy. Motion creates emotion. So if you're not feeling so good about yourself, then move your body. Whether you go outside, it's always good to be in nature, because it's high vibration, and you go to nature for at least 20 minutes a day, you will be protected energetically for 24 hours. What I mean by protected energetically, I mean that your vibration will be healthy and a good vibration for 24 hours. And there's other things that can help, like jazz music, natural instruments, the sound of nature, sound of animals. Those are like high vibration. Those are good for you to hear, and to detox from Wi-Fi, which is like actually disconnects us from source. And also when people treat another person badly, or treat you badly, so a lot of times they aren't feeling good about themselves, and they're just it's a projection of how they feel about themselves. It can be. And so when people reject another person, it's not necessarily about them. A lot of times it's not, because a lot of people have their own priorities, their own dramas, their own problems that they're trying to fix, and that they're focused on, that they're barely even focusing on a new person that they're meeting, unless they had planned on it for a long time and really, really wanted to meet this person, right? So sometimes it takes a while to get to know someone, and some people are socially awkward, and they don't know how to present themselves, and they may make a really bad impression. And it just takes 3 seconds, and many people don't have the attention span anymore, so it's more critical now about what you say and how you come across. But at the same time, when you have the self-love for yourself, and on a consistent basis you do things that are good for you, that are loving for you, that are self-care and self-love, like give yourself enough time to rest, give yourself like take time to like go for a walk, go for a bike ride, whatever it may be, then you will feel more grounded, and you'll be able to handle things in general a lot better. So the better you are to yourself, the better you love, the more you love yourself, know who you are clear about what you want, what your values are, and what your and having boundaries, and making sure that you help people only after you help yourself, because Some people, if they have a complex and they don't love themselves enough, they end up helping other people more than they help themselves, and then they can end up being upset with themselves and other people. So it ends up backfiring. So it all has to do with self-love first, the foundation first. And if you want to gradually work towards that, then expression first, if you're not feeling so good about yourself. And then think about, the numbers game. It's only a numbers game. If, I ask 15 people and they all said no, hey, if I keep asking, I'll get closer to being accepted or asked. Did you know that Colonel Sanders with KFC, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, he asked 1,000 people and if they wanted to take his recipe on, but nobody did. And then look at his success now. And did you know that the Dyson vacuum cleaner, they had 5,000 prototypes before they had their vacuum cleaner. And now it's like top of the line, best in the market, I believe. Didn't, give up at $4,999. They kept going. And so, so the people who succeed, they failed many, 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 many times. Of course, some people, had better luck than others, but a lot of successful people, they have failed a lot. If you look at these statistics for baseball, and you'll see how many times people struck out, people with big names, and so you'll get an idea. Failure is part of the process, and you can make it really hard for you to fail. You can tell yourself that, okay, I only fail when I quit. At the same time, you gotta gauge, can I improve upon this or that? Because if you keep doing the same thing and get the same result, then you're not gonna get anywhere, right? So it's all in the way you do it. If you go into a big room with 100 people, a few of them aren't gonna like you, and that's normal. If you put yourself out there in social media and video, some people won't like you. That's just normal. But a lot of people will like you. Or some people will be neutral, and some of them may not be interested in what you have to present, and that's normal. And some of them will feel fear with what you present. When people feel fear, it's their own fear. They'll say all these things that aren't nice, but that's their own fear. It's just about them. It's not about you. So I hope that helps to see rejection in a different light, because again, people just see you just a small snippet of the real you. And we're changing every day anyways. So it's not sound judgment if someone rejects you, and if they do, so what? Just move on and keep doing what you love and focus on, what makes your heart sing and what makes you happy. Take action on that. And as you do that, the fear of rejection will just start to minimize and eventually pretty much go away. Of course, it'll happen from time to time. And of course, yes, it doesn't feel so nice. It actually hurts sometimes. But then if you look at the bigger picture, what is that person doing? When you get comments, criticisms by people on social media, they probably wouldn't even do that in real life. They probably wouldn't have the guts to say that in person if they said something mean. And then some people are just giving some criticism to help. You may have put in a lot of effort and you thought, ouch. You might see eye to eye later down the road. But at least they were trying to be constructive. And so just put in your back pocket, thank them for their comment. If they're rude, then that's their own thing, right? They're projecting their own misery. And then you decide whether you want to respond or not. But anywho, hope that helps, and just keep doing what you love, being yourself. And the more you allow yourself to be yourself, do things that enhance the real you, and you find out more about yourself, do more things that make you happy, then rejection becomes less important. The people who love you will come to you. As you do things that make you happy and refine who you are, just keep believing in yourself, then it becomes easier for people to come into your life that complement you. As you refine who you are, you become more magnetic because your vibration raises. Because truth, the more honest we are about with ourselves and other people, the stronger we are at manifesting, the stronger is our magnetic field. So it takes some time. It doesn't happen overnight, but just know that the reward of being good to yourself, finding out who you are, gives you clarity, gives you a stronger magnetic field and a stronger ability to manifest that which makes your heart sing is true. And so I'll leave you with that, and I hope that helps. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.